Welcome to Level Up the Lees. I'm John.
And I'm Levi.
And we are
Level Up with the Lees.
We try to bring some video on leveling up your game, whether it's sharing game experiences, walkthrough, playthrough, unboxing.
But this time, it's the top 3 games that Level Up with the Lees likes and some reasons why.
Yeah, so today we're going to have top 3 games of the games that we like as of now, which is...
And some reasons why.
Yes, which is end of May 2021. What's our favorite? Now, Levi have graciously give us some notes, some paper for us to write the ideas, yeah? And look, all of this is about having a good time, so we would like to show you our top 3. And why is our top 3? Now, some of these reasons might surprise you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah? So when I gauge this, I try to look at it from cost, how fun it is, how easy it is to get into, how easy is it to learn, learning curves, setup time and all of that, yeah? So, okay, well, let's get started. Levi, do you want to take us through what you have as your top 3?
Yes!
Okay, should we do one each or you want to go use your 3 and then my 3?
My 3 and then your 3.
Okay, alright. So what's your number 1 favorite game at the moment? These are all Levi's notes.
Yes.
He has prepared just before this video because he was so excited.
Yeah.
And as you can see here, we were just having a game of Pantheon, Mythic Battle, and then we have moved our day straight onto this video.
Yep.
So
that's how we would have sometimes left this. We would have left this Mythic Battle Pantheon in the game, but this would have been one of my top 3 games.
okay, so what's your favorite? What's number 1?
Mythic Battles Pantheon.
So this one. Okay, and now why is that?
Because of the stat trackers. They make it so fun.
Okay, so while we have it here, stat tracker is this.
Yes, it's
Yes?
really fun sliding it down through these aligned holes.
Yeah, see, I told you it might surprise you. So these stat trackers is a way of tracking the character's stats. It could be monster, it could be deity, it could be hero. And moving
Or
this...
gods.
Oh, gods. Gods is deity.
Gods.
That's a deity. Yeah. So these help track it, and Levi loves this.
Yeah. It's really fun sliding these down and getting it down to 1.
Okay. All right, so that's your number 1 game. Now, any other reasons why you like this game the most?
I didn't really.
Sit down.
I had to keep thinking of getting multiple reasons. I really had to keep thinking. So
Okay,
I
so-
only have 1 reason for each.
Okay, so this is Mythic Battle. All right.
Mythic Battles Pantheon.
Okay, because of the health trackers.
The reason.
And
Continue.
makes it so fun. Yeah. All right. Okay. Number 2.
Moving it on to the next one. Oops! Something wrong with my notes. I would still need to be going and fixing it.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
What's number 2?
BloodRage.
Oh, BloodRage. Nope. All right. So your number 2 game is.
BloodRage.
And why is
Because
that?
it's fun getting places destroyed.
So you mean when Ragnarok destroys a continent?
It's fun
Or
putting the
location.
destroyed token sites on top places.
Okay. Well, yep. If that's what makes it fun for you, that's good. So that's Levi's number 2 game.
And lastly, Dice Fold.
Dice Throne.
Good thing this one has 2 reasons.
All right. Okay.
Dice Fold. Because it's fun throwing cards and rolling dice to get abilities that make it fun.
Hiya! I don't know why I did that. Okay, so that's Levi's top 3.
And then your top 3.
So thanks Levi's notes. I've got one here. Okay, so my top 1 is Chronicles of Drunagor.
Chronicles of Drunagor. Age of Darkness. Like the one we unboxed and played through.
That's right. Now, why is this my favorite? Is because it's got a perfect combination of storytelling, decision making, RPG, the element of surprise, the combat mechanics, the components, the immersion, and of course the replayability and randomization. That's pretty much everything, and that's why it's on my top 1. We've just unboxed it.
And playthroughed it.
Yeah, last month. It's relatively new. I believe some people in the world are still getting their fulfillments right now. And that's a great game. So thank you CGS for bringing that to us. I look forward to buying the next game. Yep, so that's number 1, Chronicles of Drunagor. Now, there's one thing I'd like to add. If there was one thing to make Chronicles of Drunagor even better, it would be do a soundtrack. Soundtrack.
Some good background music.
Yeah, maybe asking too much. All right, now on to my number 2. My number 2 is going to be Mythic Battles.
Like I
Pantheon.
did as the first.
Yes.
But yours is the second.
Now my reason is because it is super easy and accessible to get into. Now Levi likes it, and he is 5. He can play it. I mean, he's not going to be reading everything and thinking about all the combinations. Oh, actually, maybe he is. But it's just so easy and accessible. Now, it takes us about 5 minutes to set up this game, and that's amazing with all these minis. Now, speaking of minis, that's the number 2 reason why this is my second favorite game at the moment, because all the miniatures look amazing. Look at this Hydra.
What a really big miniature.
Against Leonidas. Poor. For the amount of money that you have to pay to get the amount of components, whether it's quality or quantity, I think it's unbeatable. Well, so far, okay. You're coming close to Chronicles of Drunagor because that was just amazing in terms of quality and quality. But this game, talking about miniatures, you get so many minis of some of the favorite stories. I mean, talking about the Greek mythology. Now, Levi, who's your favorite character of Mythic Battles? Who's your favorite character? Zeus. So Levi knows about Zeus already. I didn't know who Zeus was when I was 5, so this game is awesome like that. Now, yes, you want to show the camera Zeus? Zeus. And number 3 the third reason is there's surprise amount of depth in this game. So we did just say it's very accessible. Levi can get into it straight away. There's not a whole lot of reading. The only reading you have is pretty much in the character boards. So there's each character has a power and some talents, and there's a whole bunch of terrains and rules, subtext that goes into the game. So for some people who are really serious about strategy, there is something here for those people as well. So for example, you can get some really good synergies with someone like Athena, with a lot of tactical cards, with Odysseus, who can...
Odysseus,
yes, who can draw a lot of cards, so it helps you cycle. And then for the people who just like to zerk and attack, you've got people like Ares, that just goes in there with fury and defeats everybody.
Like Zeus as well.
Yes. So, okay, so that's my number 2, Mythic Battles. And my third one, surprisingly, maybe...
Song of Ice and Fire.
Yes! Now, Song of Ice and Fire wise, my top 3 games at the moment is... So my number 3 is A Song of Ice and Fire. First reason is every battle feels epic. The scale of it is amazing. It's huge. You get lots of people on the field. It just feels like an army. It feels like a battle. It's the closest experience I've ever had in a game where I mean I don't know battle feels like, but it feels like that would be what battling feels like. Okay. So number 2 is relatively cheap to get into the game, because Song of Ice and Fire is a war game, and for a war game, it's just so cheap to get into. So he's one. For someone to get started into the game, you can just buy the starter box, which averages around 100 to 120, depending on what faction it is and whether it's in stock and who you buy it from. But from there on, you can just start playing or straight away, which is wonderful. Because other war games, you will have to spend $400, $500, up to $800 or $1,000 just to get a good game on the table. And Song of Ice and Fire is super accessible. So kudos to that. Now the next one is, you see a common theme here, is the miniatures are amazing. The sculpts of Song of Ice and Fire, they're just so cool. If I had to compare these to Song of Ice and Fire, I honestly wouldn't know, because I haven't painted all these guys yet. But
haven't painted Amazon.
They're great.
Medusa.
Yeah, there's lots of people in this game we haven't painted, but Song of Ice and Fire, I've painted the whole Lannister army. It's so good to see them on the field, so that's awesome. Now the last reason of why I think Song of Ice and Fire is in my top 3 is it's got such great depth of... Alright. The amount of strategy and depth that it has to offer is amazing for the amount of money and time you have to spend in the game. So what I mean by that, the type of unit composition makes a lot of difference. How you field them, as in what position they are on the battlefield, makes a big difference. So the amount of depth is depending on the play style. You can go and crush your opponents, you can do surprise attacks, you can do different type of panic attack and different status effects. There's just so much you can do, so that's really cool. And it's super thematic. You really feel like, well, I really feel like I'm in Westeros with a Song of Ice and Fire, so that feels great. And all the characters really feel different. So yeah, it does have a huge character trait, well, not story, but if you're a fan of a game,
I don't go by that.
If you're a game of if you are a fan of a Game of Thrones, the likelihood of you liking this game,
coughing, laughing so much.
Yes. So yes. So if you're a game, keep saying that. If you are a fan, if you are a fan of a Game of Thrones, or Song of Ice and Fire novel, the chances are you're gonna like this game. Now, I can see people why won't like that game is because it needs so much space. That is a real issue. But other than that, yeah, there's no reason not to like that game. So there you have it. That's our top games for May 2021 as of now. Now, a quick disclaimer, some of these games we've mentioned is not from this year. It's just as of right now, based on all the games that we've played, those are our top 3. Now, some honourable mentions. What are some of your other favourite games that didn't make it onto your top 3 list?
Like the Diachasm?
Diachasm, yeah.
That didn't make it. Monopoly.
Monopoly, yeah. Monopoly didn't make it for Levi. For me, some close contenders are Nemesis and Tainted Grail. But, you know, we're only allowed to pick 3, so these are my top 3 right now. Now, we'll see you next week. Oh, before we finish, are you going to do a dance as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So as I guess, some people would want to buy some of our favorite games.
Maybe, yeah. Go and buy some. Papa mistake.
Mistake.
Many mistake. It's okay. For the amount of